guys, welcome to part 4 of the Terrainwreck. This week we hope to get the interior put back together, which is a lot, and maybe we'll get some of the door panels and stuff put back on, get the old junk off the other side that's tore up, and get them replaced. So we'll just go until we run out of time or until the video gets too long, and we'll see what we get done this week. Alright guys, so here it is a few days later, and we've already got our box back from Safety Restore. Very fast. I think I shipped it off maybe like, let's see, maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday last week, and this is Monday of the next week. So it's really fast. And they give you a little instruction sheet here. And here are there's the pretensioner and the seat belt wrapped up. That's the ones, my exact ones, because I wrote that little R right there. And here is the SRS module. So now all we got to do is start installing this stuff, and we can start putting the interior all back together. All right, so we've got the SRS module back in. So you can see it way back up in there. Those bolts back up in there are the hardest thing to get to, but I finally got the nuts back on there. So just plug it back up. Alright, so now that we got the SRS module installed, we can go ahead and put all the panels on that console there back together and start installing seat belts. Then we can tackle all the panels in the back and put seats back in. Okay, before I do any more with the seatbelt over there, because I have to put it through that plastic cap that goes, that pillar cap that goes over there, I'm going to go ahead and check all these back panels, make sure the clips are all in the right spots. Like, for example, I see one missing right there, I see two missing right there. There's some in the door, or in the metal still I need to pull out, put in back where they go. So we'll do all that and get that clipped in so that it covers our headliner there, and then we can put on the cap that goes over that seat belt. Alright, I got both of the back panels on. So now, the only thing I've got left to do before I can start putting seats back in, or cleaning up anyway, is put that whole cover that goes on that pillar there on. It's 2 pieces. Then I'll get those 2 bottom pieces connected in with it. Those back pieces are a pain because they're hard to tell where your clips snap in and all that, and then you're fighting with the gaskets around the door, the seals, and all that. So hopefully this will be easier right here. Okay, I don't know if you could tell what was going on there on the time lapse, but I got the thing all back together and then realized that there's a little post, like on this side right here. It has to go in the adjustable piece right here. It'll let you adjust the height of the seat belt. So if that doesn't go in there, it doesn't adjust up and down and it doesn't fit right. So I had to take it back apart, get it in the right slot, and put it back together. So now all I gotta do is put the bottom piece on, and we should be done with that side. Alright, so I've got all I can do done tonight because I've got some broken clips that I need to pick up tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum and clean this thing out really well. I'll have seats in it. I'll make it easier. And then there's like sand all back in there. Some of us went to the beach. So I'm gonna suck all that out and put that one last panel on back there and call it a night. Alright, it's the next day here. You can see I've got everything vacuumed out, put back together in the back. I still got to clean up, you know, all these panels where there's still mud and stuff on them when they threw stuff in the car. And I finally got my clips. I'm going to put that last piece right on back there. Then I should be able to put seats in, and this interior will be finished. Alright, so I've got the car all wiped down, looks nice and clean. All the panels are clean. So what I'm going to do next is get the pretensioners. I got those back. There's one there. I'm going to install those back in the seats. Get the front seats put back in. And then actually put power to the car and make sure our airbag lights go off. And then whatever lights are still on, we'll clear out with the scanner and maybe we can have a clean dash. Alright, there's one seat all installed and connected. The other one going to take a little bit longer because hooking that pretensioner up on the driver's side, there's all the automatic controls on the seat, so they're in the way. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll get it installed and we'll work on the back seat.
12 seconds later.
Alright, I've got the seats all back in. Now every airbag, seat belt, all the lines going to anything that explodes are hooked up right now. So now I can hook the battery back up and start this thing up. And it's like 30 degrees outside, so I don't want to leave the door open a long time, but I need to get it out and let it run and see what lights go back off. Hopefully the airbag light goes off at the dash, and then I'll see what's still on. Then we can tackle the exterior. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I don't even remember where the airbag light was. I think it was over on this side here. Yeah, I think the airbag light was right there. So let's see what we got. Yeah, airbag light right there, I think. Okay, it went off. Looks like I got a seatbelt light. Sorry. Oh, I haven't even picked that up yet on this seat. Sorry about that, I forgot about it. Let's make sure it registers it. Yep. So I don't even have to hook my scanner up. What kind of fun is that? I have no warning lights. That's awesome. When I get done, I can play Space Invaders. Alright, now for the part I've been dreading. Trying to get this 200-pound back seat back in here by myself. I can feel a hernia coming. Alright, yes, I did get a hernia, but it was worth it. The seat is in. I've got to go up there and get some leather cleaner and wipe down all these seats. There's still there's a tire tread still. I don't know if you can see it on camera from where the tire was sitting back here. So get all that cleaned up, and I got to put one more piece in. There's a piece that goes between this. Now it's really dark. The back seat and this back panel back here that keeps stuff from falling down in between behind the back seat. So I got to put that in still. There it is right there. So I'll clean it up, and that should be it on the interior. Then we'll jump on the outside.
20 minutes later.
Okay, so now that the interior is done, I'm going to transition from interior work to exterior work. And the first thing I got to do is clean up this disgusting mess. So that will take a while, and then I'm going to have room to work on the doors. So I've got to take the front bumper off and then gut the two doors right there that are going to be going to Mike's.
2 hours later.
Alright, I got quite a bit of it cleaned up. Still got a bunch of trash to haul out of here. But I think the first place we'll start is to take this bumper off. I don't want to dive into the doors yet until I want to make sure I get this clamp put back on this wheel over here, and I'm going to take the bumper off, and it'll be easier to get up underneath there, I think. And so on that rack and pinion boot, I got to put that on, and then we'll take off this whole thing. I also realized the other day that this grill is cracked, busted. Got some busted little studs right there. So it's cracked right there, so I got one of those ordered. So let's get this all off the front, and we'll see what we got in there. Also want to be able to look on the other side without the headlight to see what that's actually supposed to look like over there. Alright, so we can kind of get that out of our way. We can kind of see what's going on here now. So there's no damage anywhere from here to this way. Looks like the only metal damage is right there in this bracket that holds the headlight. I think it's all it holds. So I got to take this piece off here, which was damaged. They got me another one at the salvage yard. So we'll get it out of the way and then see what we need to do to try to repair that metal. Okay, so I did a little research and found what this thing is supposed to look like. I'll throw a picture up of it right here. Okay, so you can see that it's supposed to be flat. This is bent way up at a 90-degree angle. This actually goes out flat like this. And I first thought this had something to do with the headlight bracket, but really the headlight does not touch that at all. All this is a fender bracket. So the fender mounts to this hole and this hole here. So this needs to be out, you know, straight out here to where the fender, bottom of that fender, bolts onto it right here where the bumper connects. So I'm going to try, I can order that piece. I'd rather not do that because I'd have to drill out these spot welds, and then the piece that comes in is a black primer thing I'd have to paint and all that. So I'm going to try to straighten it, and since it's not, you know, I mean, as long as these bolt holes line up to the fender and get everything straight, it's not that big a deal. So I'm I'm gonna see if I can straighten it where it is, and if not, then I'll have to drill it out and order that piece.
A few moments later.
All right, so I got that piece off. I went ahead and ordered a new one because it's just pretty bad. So I gotta wait till it comes in to find out exactly where this right here is supposed to be. If this is supposed to be out, I'll have to go in there and tap it out from the back side. But I won't know that till I get the new piece in to see exactly how it's supposed to line up. So we're kind of at a stopping point on there. So I'll get underneath and put the clamp on that boot, and then we'll start on doors. Also, I just noticed this up here too. That's bent in a little bit right there in front of this front rebar. So I'm going to take that rebar off and straighten that rebar part off, or out while it's off. And then I think I can tap that flange back out where it goes and put it back on. Okay, I got most of the bend out of that front piece of that front flange there. Then I went over and straightened these brackets for the fender over here. Those are straight. So now I'm going to get over here on the door. I'm going to take the back door off first. So just now when I had pulled out the plug and unhooked it, so all I got to do is take off these 4 bolts here and just remove it, and then we'll just take and set it over here, and then we'll get that other back door, put it on the stand, and start stripping the guts out of it so that we can go ahead and mount it on the car. Mike wants it on the car like that with no, gotta take that door handle off since those door handles are chrome and these are painted. And he wants the door handle off anyway to paint, so we'll just leave that off. Alright, so I've got everything out of there, door handles off. I think I'm going to try to leave just if I can show you under here. I don't think this will mess with Mike when he's painting. I can leave these on there, you can just tape that part up maybe, or if he wants to take them out he can, but it'll all be open if he wants to. But I had to go ahead and remove all the wiring harness from the door because somebody put an aftermarket speaker in this door and cut the wires in there, so I'm just going to use the wires from the original door. So I'll go ahead and tighten everything back up and we'll get the door mounted. Alright, so we've got the rear door installed, and now I've got the donor front door up on the stand. So I'll go ahead and take the guts out of that. And there were aftermarket speakers in these donor doors. Somebody just cut a big hole in the door panel, which means they also cut the wiring harness. It's weird, these are Kicker Marine speakers. So I don't know why they were in a Terrain, but so I'll take this apart and get this one installed on the front, and then that should be it for tonight. Alright, so that's really all I can do until I can get it to Mike, which is going to be another week or so. I taped up holes that let water in and all that. So I'm going to park it outside, get the black Mustang back in here so we can work on finishing it. And so right now it looks pretty good. It's got that spot right there that Mike's going to fix. And then that area back there on the bumper. And then hopefully I'll get that piece that goes right up here in the next few days, and then I can weld that on, and maybe Mike can paint that while he's painting the rest of this. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of the Terrainwreck. I'm sorry I'm filming inside the car, but we're shooting outside today, and we're in Missouri, and it's deer season, so we're always scared there's going to be a guy with a rifle coming up on us while we're shooting.
And always remember, don't retire it if you can rebuild it. See you guys next week. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and watching this week's episode of Rebuild It. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any awesome content. Have a good one.